Free the Allians. Han Bin looked at Sangmin like he was crazy. They've killed millions of us. The whole team had gathered in the basement. Dawn was breaking outside, but no light reached them here. Not by choice, Sangmin insisted. They're as much victims as we are. That doesn't bring back the dead, Han Bin shot back. Tai-Ho raised his hand for quiet. How would we even do this? Free an entire alien army. Sangmin opened his worn backpack and pulled out an old notebook. The pages were yellow and covered with strange drawings and notes. The visitor from 15 years ago gave us information about how the Dominion controls its servant races. He flipped through pages. Each species is different, but the basic method is the same. They use special sound frequencies that activate the implants in their brains. Sujai leaned forward. So we could use, what? A different frequency to turn them off. Exactly, Sangmin nodded. The right sound pattern could disrupt the control signal. Like a key, Jisoo said, understanding, or an off switch. But we'd need to broadcast it everywhere, Du-Won pointed out. How do we reach all the Allians at once? Tai-Ho thought for a moment. Their own communication network. If we can access it again, maybe we can send our signal through their system. It would need to be powerful, Sangmin said. And it's not just the frequency. There's a language component too. Everyone turned to him. The Allians were a free species once, long ago, Sangmin explained. The Dominion didn't erase their original language completely. It's still buried in their minds, like a memory they can't quite reach. He showed them a page with strange symbols. These are words in their ancestral language. Words for freedom, choice, self. Words the Dominion try to remove from them. So we play a sound and say some alien words, Han Bin said, still doubtful. And they just wake up. It's more complicated, Sangmin replied. The frequency disrupts the implants. The words activate dormant neural pathways. Together, they could break the Dominion's hold. Could? Tai-Ho asked. There are no guarantees, Sangmin admitted. But it's our best chance. For 3 days, they worked on the plan. Suju built a device that could generate the special frequency. Jisoo worked on hacking deeper into the alien network. Sangmin practiced the ancient alien words, his quiet voice growing stronger as he repeated the strange sounds. On the 4th day, they gathered their equipment. We need to get to their main communication hub, Jisoo said, pointing to a map. It's in their headquarters, the biggest ship that landed in the center of Seoul. That's the most heavily guarded place on Earth, Han Bin said. Which is why they won't expect us to go there, Tai-Ho replied. They packed light, taking only what they needed. The frequency device was small enough to fit in Suji's backpack. Sangmin carried his notebook and a small recorder to amplify his voice. As they prepared to leave, General Dong-Hyuk visited from another resistance base. Your plan is dangerous, he told Tai-Ho. If you fail, we lose our best people. And if we do nothing, we lose everything, Tai-Ho replied. The general nodded slowly. We'll create a distraction on the east side of the city, draw some of their forces away from the main ship. Thank you, sir. The general looked at Sangmin, who stood quietly checking his notes one last time. Do you really believe this will work? He asked. That this quiet man can turn our enemies into friends? Tai-Ho watched Sangmin for a moment. Since the meeting with the Allians, something had changed in him. The shy diplomat was becoming something else, someone with purpose and fire in his eyes. I believe he knows things we don't, Tai-Ho said. And right now, that's our only hope. As night fell, the small team moved out. The ruins of Seoul waited ahead, lit by the glow of alien ships. In the center stood their target, the massive mothership where they would either save 2 species or die trying. Back at their temporary base in an old hospital basement, Tai-Ho cornered Sangmin. No more secrets, he said firmly. What did you see? What's their greatest secret? The others gathered around. Everyone wanted to hear what the quiet man knew. Sangmin sat down slowly, his face thoughtful. Did you notice their eyes? The way they move? The patterns in their speech? They're aliens, Han Bin said impatiently. Of course they're different. Not different enough, Sangmin replied. The alien I met years ago was truly alien. These aliens, he paused. They're modified. Changed. Changed how? Suji asked. They're servants, Sangmin said. Slaves to something else. Something they call the Dominion. The room fell silent. How can you know that? Taiho asked. The ship that crashed 15 years ago contained records. The visitor showed us patterns, genetic and behavioral signs of species that have been conquered and changed. Sangmin's voice remained quiet, but everyone leaned in to hear him. The Allians show all those signs. Jisoo frowned. So they're not the real enemy. They're still our enemy, Sangmin clarified. But they're not free. They serve masters we haven't seen yet. Taiho paced the room, thinking. If they're slaves, can they be freed? Could we turn them against their masters? Sangmin nodded slowly. Maybe. But first I need proof. I need to access their data. Han Bin laughed without humor. Just walk into their headquarters and ask to use their computers. Actually, Jisoo said, we might be able to get in. During the meeting, I planted a small device on one of their communication panels. It should give us access to their local network. Everyone stared at her. What? She said, I'm good at my job. That night, Taiho, Sangmin, and Jisoo sat around a small screen, watching as Jisoo worked her way into the Allian system. I can't read any of this, she said, showing strange symbols scrolling across the screen. I can, Sangmin said, surprising them. Not all of it, but enough. The visitor taught us some common space language basics. Jisoo moved aside, letting Sangmin take over. His fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. Images and text flashed on the screen. There, he finally said, pointing to a document. Biological maintenance protocols. Taiho looked at the strange diagrams of alien bodies. What does it say? It's instructions for regular treatments. Chemicals they must take to maintain. Sangmin paused, searching for the right word. Loyalty. Obedience. They're drugged, Jisoo asked. More than that. Look here. Sangmin pointed to another diagram showing an alien brain. They have implants and genetic modifications. They've been redesigned to serve. Taiho studied the screen. So who are these Dominion masters? Sangmin moved to another file. A star map appeared, with one system highlighted far from Earth. The Dominion home world, Sangmin said. Too far for us to reach. But look at this. He opened another file. This one showed ships, much larger than the ones over Earth. The real Dominion fleet, Sangmin explained. These Allians are just the first wave. The advanced team. They prepare planets for the main harvest. Harvest. Jisoo's voice shook slightly. The Dominion doesn't just take resources. They take species. Sangmin's eyes were dark with concern. They collect useful traits, modify genetics, create servant races for specific purposes. Taiho felt cold. And humans, what do they want from us? Our adaptability, our creativity in crisis. Sangmin pointed to human brain scans in the Allian database. They've been studying us, testing our responses. The resistance wasn't just fighting back. We've been lab rats in their experiment. How do we fight something like that? Jisoo whispered. Sangmin closed the files and turned to them. For the first time, there was intensity in his usually calm eyes. We free the Allians, he said, and we turn them against their masters. The meeting place was an old stadium outside what was once the city of Daejeon. Allian ships hovered above it, their dark shapes blocking the sun. Groups of humans from different resistance cells gathered at the entrance, watched by Allian guards with long, strange weapons. I count at least 50 guards, Han Bin whispered to Taiho. And those are just the ones we can see. Tai-ho nodded. Stay alert. If this is a trap, we run for the tunnels we mapped yesterday. Their group of 6 walked toward the entrance. Tai-ho, Han-bin, Ji-su, Su-ji, Du-won, and Sang-min. Other human groups did the same. Some came from Japan, China, and places farther away. All looked tired, thin, and wary. The Allian guard scanned them with small devices, then pointed to the stadium doors. Inside, the playing field had been changed. A large round table sat in the center, with chairs for humans on one side and strange seats for the Allians on the other. They're showing off, Suji said quietly, making us come to their perfect setup. Sang-min touched Tai-ho's arm. Watch the small one, he said softly, pointing to an Allian who seemed shorter than the others. That's the real leader, not the big one who will do the talking. Tai-ho looked at him in surprise. How can you tell? The others keep checking its reactions, small movements of their eyes. The humans took their seats. About 30 representatives from around the world sat together, facing 10 Allians. As Sang-min had predicted, the largest Allian stepped forward. Humans, it said in that strange echoing voice. I am Sub-Commander Neris. We thank you for accepting our invitation. No one spoke. The humans just stared, some with hate, others with fear. We have called you here to discuss the future, Neris continued. Your resistance is brave but pointless. You cannot win. Yet we do not wish to destroy your species completely. What do you want? Asked a woman from the European resistance. Cooperation, Neris said. Help us extract what we need efficiently, and we will leave portions of your world intact. Fight us, and we will take what we need regardless, but nothing will remain. You're destroying our planet, Tai-ho said. Your drilling will make Earth uninhabitable. The Allian's large eyes blinked slowly. A necessary cost. But some humans could be relocated to work colonies. Your species would survive, in a way. Murmurs spread among the human delegates. Work colonies sounded like slavery, but was it better than extinction? How many? Asked an American man. How many humans would you save? Perhaps 1 million, Neris said. The strongest workers. 1 million out of billions. Tai-ho felt sick. Throughout the meeting, Sang-min remained silent. His eyes moved from Allian to Allian, watching closely. Tai-ho noticed the small Allian leader was watching Sang-min too, with what seemed like curiosity. We require your answer within 3 days, Neris concluded. Cooperation or continued war. Choose wisely for the sake of your species. As the meeting ended, the small Allian leader approached Sang-min directly. The other humans stepped back nervously. You have not spoken, it said in a voice different from the others. Smoother, more natural. Do you have nothing to contribute? For the first time, Sang-min looked directly at the alien. Something passed between them, a moment of recognition that Tai-ho couldn't understand. I need to consult with my people, Sang-min said simply. The alien tilted its head. You are different from the others. It leaned closer. What is your name, quiet one? Sang-min Park. The alien seemed to study the name in its mind. We will speak again, Sang-min Park. I look forward to hearing your voice. As they left the stadium, Han-bin grabbed Sang-min's arm. What was that about? Why did it single you out? Sang-min's face remained calm. It suspects I know something. Do you? Asked Tai-ho. Yes, Sang-min said. I know their greatest secret. And now I'm sure of it. Dawn came with heavy rain. Tai-ho stood at the tunnel exit, watching water pour down the broken streets of Seoul. 6 vehicles were ready, hidden under tarps that matched the color of rubble. Is everyone here? He asked Han-bin. All except this diplomat. The mountain group said he was on his way. Han-bin checked his watch. If he's not here in 10 minutes, we leave without him. Tai-ho nodded. They couldn't wait. The meeting point was 2 days' travel, through areas heavy with Allian patrols. Ji-su approached. leading a thin man with a worn backpack. "Captain, this is Sang-min Park." Tai-ho studied the newcomer. Sang-min was not what he expected. The man was average in every way. Average height, plain face, simple clothes. His eyes were the only striking thing about him, dark and watchful. He didn't look like someone who knew secrets about aliens. "Mr. Park," Tai-ho said, "I hear you want to join our meeting team." Sang-min nodded but said nothing. "Why?" Tai-ho pressed. "I need to be there," Sang-min said quietly. His voice was soft but clear. "That's not an answer," Han Bin cut in. "What makes you special? What do you know about the Allians?" Sang-min looked at Han Bin, then back to Tai-ho. "I worked at the UN before the invasion. I was part of the First Contact Protocol team." Tai-ho raised an eyebrow. "First Contact? You mean the government knew about aliens before the invasion?" "Not these aliens," Sang-min replied. "But we prepared for the possibility of meeting others. I studied alien communication theory. I can help." Han Bin looked unconvinced. "That's still not." "He comes," Tai-ho decided. There was something about this quiet man that felt important. "Put him in my vehicle." The convoy moved slowly through the ruins of the countryside. They avoided main roads where alien ships patrolled. By nightfall, they reached an abandoned farm where they could rest. As the others set up camp, Tai-ho found Sang-min sitting alone, watching the stars. "You don't say much," Tai-ho said, sitting beside him. "I listen more than I speak," Sang-min replied. "What aren't you telling us?" Tai-ho asked directly. "You're not just some diplomat who studied theory." Sang-min was quiet for so long that Tai-ho thought he wouldn't answer. Then he spoke in that same soft voice. 15 years ago, something crashed in the mountains near Busan. Not a plane. Not from Earth." Tai-ho stared at him. "You mean?" "A small ship. One survivor. Not an alien. Something else. I was part of the team that talked to it." "That's impossible," Tai-ho said. "We would have heard about this." "Would you?" Sang-min looked at him. "Governments keep secrets. This was the biggest one." "What happened to the alien?" "It died after 3 days. But it told us things. About space. About other races." Sang-min looked back at the stars. "About the Allians." Tai-ho felt a chill. "You knew they were coming." "No, the visitor didn't know them directly. But it knew of species like them. Told us signs to watch for." "Why didn't you warn anyone when they arrived?" "I tried," Sang-min said simply. "No one listened. By then, I was just a forgotten diplomat from a forgotten program." Tai-ho processed this information. "So what do you think will happen at this meeting?" "The Allians aren't here just for resources," Sang-min said. "They want something else. Something they're not saying." "How do you know?" "Their drilling patterns. Their treatment of humans. It doesn't match what our visitor told us about resource hunters." He turned to face Tai-ho fully. "They're afraid of something." "Afraid? They're winning the war." "Yes, but they're still afraid." Sang-min stood up. "At the meeting, don't just listen to their words. Watch how they move. Watch their eyes. I'll show you what to look for." As he walked away, Tai-ho called after him. "Why did you keep quiet all these years? About what you knew?" Sang-min paused. "Sometimes the quiet ones see more, and when the time is right." He stopped himself. "We should rest. Tomorrow will be dangerous." Tai-ho watched him go, wondering what else this quiet man wasn't saying. 6 months passed. The world had changed forever. Tai-ho looked different now. His hair was longer, his face thinner. A scar ran across his left cheek from a close call with an alien patrol. He studied the map spread on the table in their new base, an old subway tunnel under what used to be Seoul. "Another supply center here," he said, marking a spot with a red pen. "The Allians bring food for their workers once a week." Suji, their engineer, leaned over the map. Her hands were stained black from fixing engines and weapons. "If we hit it Tuesday, We could grab enough to feed the East Camp for a month. It's risky, said Duwan, the group's medic. I'm running low on medicine. People are getting sick from the bad water. Taiho nodded. We'll split up. Team 1 hits the supply center. Team 2 raids the hospital they turned into their lab. The small room held 12 people, all that remained of Taiho's original unit. But they weren't alone in the fight. Around the world, humans had gone underground. They fought in small groups, sharing information when they could. Han Bin entered the room, breathing hard. Captain, you need to see this. They gathered around a small screen. Jisoo had connected it to an alien signal they tapped into. The screen showed a massive drill cutting into the ground. Around it, humans worked like slaves while alien guards watched. This is the third one we found, Jisoo said. They're all over the world, digging deep. What are they digging for? Asked Taiho. From what we can translate of their communications, they're going after core metals, rare earth elements. But they're digging too fast, too deep. Suji pointed to readings on another screen. If they keep this up, they could destabilize the planet's core. They'd destroy the Earth. But they're on it too, said Duwan. They don't plan to stay, Han Bin said quietly. Once they take what they want, they'll leave. Whether we're all dead or not won't matter to them. The room fell silent. They had thought they were fighting for freedom. Now they knew they were fighting for Earth's survival. There's more, Jisoo said. We intercepted this an hour ago. The screen changed to show an alien speaking. The creatures looked almost human, but with gray-blue skin and eyes too large and dark. This one wore what seemed like formal clothes. To the human resistance groups, the alien said in its strange accent, "The High Command offers terms. Send representatives to discuss the future of your species. You have 3 days to respond." The message ended. It's a trap, Han Bin said immediately. Maybe, Taiho replied. Or maybe they realized we won't stop fighting. Or maybe they're worried about something, Suji suggested. They might fear we found a weakness. Taiho turned to Jisoo. Can you track where other resistance groups are responding? She nodded. Some already have. There's a large group in what was North America. Another in Europe. They're sending people. Taiho stood up straight. Then we send people too. Who? Asked Duwan. I'll go, Taiho said. And I want our best people with me. Captain, we can't lose you, Han Bin protested. If it's a trap, no one is safe anyway. If it's real. Taiho looked at the map of their dying world. We need to know what they want. As they prepared for the dangerous mission, a message came through their emergency channel. It was from another resistance cell hiding in the mountains. We have someone, the message said, a man who claims to know things about the Allians. He wants to join your meeting team. What's his name? Taiho asked. Sang-Min Park. He was a diplomat before the invasion. Very quiet man. Barely speaks, but he insists on going. Taiho looked at his team. They needed all the help they could get. Tell him to be ready. We leave at dawn. The sky turned red on a Tuesday morning. No one was ready. Captain Taiho Kim stood on the roof of the military base outside Seoul, watching the giant ships break through the clouds. His radio buzzed with panicked voices as fighters took off from runways across the country. Taiho gripped the railing so hard his knuckles turned white. Sir, we need to go now, said Han Bin, his weapons specialist. Han Bin's usually calm face showed fear for the first time since Taiho had known him. How many ships? Taiho asked, his eyes still fixed on the sky. We count 37 large vessels over Korea alone. Reports say they're all over the world. China, America, Europe, everywhere. The first blast hit downtown Seoul. The shock wave reached them seconds later, making the building shake. A bright blue light shot from the largest ship, cutting through a skyscraper like it was paper. The building collapsed in silence from this distance, but Taiho knew the screams that filled the streets. Get our team to the trucks, Taiho ordered, finally tearing his eyes away from the horror. We follow Emergency Plan Delta. Han Bin nodded and ran. Taiho took one last look at Seoul. At home, as more blue beams sliced through the city. The roads were chaos. People ran with whatever they could carry. Cars crashed into each other as drivers tried to escape. Taiho's 3-truck convoy pushed through slowly, their military vehicles giving them some space. Radio update. Taiho called to Jisoo, who sat with headphones pressed to her ears. Jisoo shook her head. Most channels are dead. The aliens. They're calling themselves the Allians. They took out major military bases first. Yongsan is gone. The Blue House too. Taiho's heart sank. Korea's government, its military command, gone in the first strike. Any word from other countries? Same story everywhere. Their weapons. Jisoo paused. Nothing stops them. Our jets, missiles, they just hit some kind of shield and disappear. The truck jerked to a stop. Through the windshield, Taiho saw a family, a mother, father, and 2 small children, standing in the road. Their clothes were torn and dirty. The father held up his hands, begging. "Move them out of the way," ordered Major Yun from the front seat. Taiho looked at the man's eyes. "No, make room. Captain, we have orders. We're taking them." "That's an order." 5 minutes later, the family sat squeezed in the back. More blue flashes lit up the sky behind them. The mountain base was one of Korea's secret shelters, built during the Cold War. 300 soldiers and civilians had already reached it. Taiho's team brought 20 more. "The North Koreans are hit just as bad," said General Dong-hyuk in the command room. The old man looked 10 years older today. "This isn't a human war anymore. It's a human survival fight." Screens around the room showed the same images from around the world. Paris in flames. New York under attack. Tokyo with 3 massive ships hovering above it. "What do they want?" asked Taiho. They sent a message. The general pressed a button, and a voice filled the room. It sounded almost human, but with a strange echo. "People of Earth, we are the Allians. Your planet is now under our control. Resistance will only cause more death. Your resources belong to us now. Your lives are ours to use. Accept this truth, and some may live to serve." The room fell silent after the message ended. "Resources. They came for our resources," Han Bin said, in disbelief. Taiho walked to the main screen showing a map of the world. Red dots marked alien ships. There were hundreds now. "Get me any special forces units still alive," Taiho said. "Any hackers, communications experts. We need to know more about these aliens." "Captain, you heard them," Major Yun said. "They control the planet now." Taiho turned to face the room. "No, they control the sky. The ground is still ours. And as long as humans breathe, we fight." As if answering him, the mountain shook as something massive struck the earth above them. The invasion of Earth had only just begun. The night was dark as Taiho's team moved through the ruins of Seoul. The huge alien ship glowed blue in the distance. Explosions sounded from the east side of the city. General Dong-hyuk's distraction was working. "Guards are moving away from the main entrance," Han Bin whispered as he looked through his night vision scope. "The path is clearing." They waited in the shadow of a fallen building. Taiho looked at his team. Han Bin with his weapons, Jisoo carrying her tech equipment, Suji with the frequency device, Do-won with medical supplies, and Sangmin holding his notebook tightly. "Everyone remember the plan?" Taiho asked. "We get in, find the central communication hub, broadcast the signal, and get out." They all nodded. They knew most of them might not make it out. "Let's move," Taiho ordered. Getting into the ship was easier than expected. Many guards had left to deal with the distraction. The team used service tunnels that Sujai had found in the stolen plans. The inside of the ship was strange. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with faint light. "This way," Jisoo whispered, following the signal on her device. "The communication center should be 2 levels up." They climbed through the ship, hiding when alien patrols passed. Once, they had to wait in a small storage room for 10 minutes while a group of aliens stood talking right outside. "What are they saying?" Taeho whispered to Sangmin. "Something about the Dominion fleet. It's coming sooner than expected." Sangmin's face was grim. "We don't have much time." Finally, they'd reached a large door. Beyond it was the central communication hub, the heart of the alien network on Earth. 4 guards inside, Hanbin reported, using a small camera to peek through a vent. And 3 technicians. "We need to be quick and quiet," Taeho said. He turned to Sangmin. "Are you ready?" The quiet diplomat nodded. For the first time since they'd met, Sangmin looked nervous. Hanbin used a small device to cause a malfunction in a nearby system. When 2 guards came to check, the team slipped inside and took down the remaining guards and technicians before they could sound an alarm. "Lock the door," Taeho ordered. Jisoo went straight to the main console. "This is it, the broadcast system for all alien forces on Earth. I just need a few minutes to override their security." Suja connected her frequency device. "Ready when you are." Sangmin stood in front of the main communication panel, looking at his notes one last time. His hands were shaking slightly. "You can do this," Taeho told him. An alarm suddenly blared through the ship. "They know we're here," Hanbin shouted, moving to secure the door. "How much longer?" Taeho asked Jisoo. "Almost there." "Got it." The console lit up with new colors. "Broadcast channel open. It's connected to every alien ship and base on Earth." "Now, Sangmin," Taeho said urgently. Sujai activated the frequency device. A high, strange sound filled the room, making everyone's teeth hurt. Sangmin stepped forward. The quiet man closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, he was transformed. He stood straighter, his face filled with purpose. Then Sangmin Park began to speak. His voice was no longer soft or hesitant. It rang out clear and powerful, speaking words in the ancient alien language, words that had not been heard for centuries. The console amplified his voice, sending it to every alien on Earth. Asterisk Vreshkal North. Allians. Soratun Ve Korek. Imbaru Noth Dominion. Freeval Sorith. Asterisk. Taeho didn't understand the words, but he felt their power. Sangmin continued speaking, his voice growing stronger with each phrase. The sound of his voice, combined with the special frequency, traveled through the alien network. Suddenly, the ship shook. Sounds of confusion came from the hallways outside. "It's working," Jisoo said in amazement, looking at readings on the console. "Something's happening to the aliens." The quiet man kept speaking, his voice now filling the world. Chaos filled the alien ship. Sangmin's voice, carried by the special frequency, reached every corner of the vessel and beyond, to all alien forces on Earth. Outside the communication room, strange sounds echoed through the corridors. Screams, crashes, and a noise like thousands of people waking from a bad dream. "What's happening out there?" Hanbin asked, his weapon trained on the door. "The aliens are fighting the control," Jisoo said, watching data stream across her screen. "Look." On security monitors around the room, they could see aliens in distress. Some fell to their knees, holding their heads. Others tore at devices attached to their necks. Many seemed to be arguing, fighting with each other. Sangmin kept speaking, his voice never faltering. The words flowed from him as if he had spoken this language all his life. Sweat covered his face, but his eyes burned with determination. "How long does he need to keep going?" Taeho asked Suji. "The frequency needs to run for at least 10 minutes to fully disrupt the implants," she replied. 3 minutes left. The door to the communication room suddenly dented inward. Something was trying to break through. "Get ready," Taeho shouted, raising his weapon. The door burst open. A group of Allians rushed in, led by the small leader they had met at the diplomatic meeting. But instead of attacking, the Allian leader stopped, staring at Sangmin with its large dark eyes. Sangmin paused his speech. For a moment, the room was silent except for the hum of the frequency device. Then the Allian leader spoke in its own language, its voice shaking with emotion. It took a step forward, then fell to its knees before Sangmin. "What's happening?" Han Bin asked, his weapon still raised. "I think." Tahoe started, lowering his gun slowly. "I think it's working." The Allian spoke again, this time in human language. "Continue," it said to Sangmin. "Free my people, please." Sangmin nodded and resumed speaking, his voice growing even stronger. The kneeling Allian turned to its followers and spoke rapidly in their language. The other Allians lowered their weapons. Minutes passed. Throughout the ship, throughout the world, Allians listened to the voice of the quiet man. Many fought against it at first, their Dominion programming resisting. But the ancient words, combined with the special frequency, broke through decades of control. On Jisu's screens, they watched as Allians around the world responded. Some violently rejected the awakening, loyal to their masters even now. But many more embraced it, tearing off control devices, helping others do the same. "It's spreading," Jisu said in amazement. "They're sending the message to other Allian outposts beyond Earth." When Sangmin finally finished speaking, he swayed on his feet. Tahoe rushed to support him. "Did it work?" Sangmin asked, his voice hoarse. The Allian leader rose from its knees. "I am Commander Varric," it said. "For the first time in my life, I speak as myself, not as a tool of the Dominion." Varric turned to its followers. "We have been slaves for generations. Our ancestors' memories were stolen from us. But this human," it pointed to Sangmin, "has returned our minds to us. Not all will accept freedom," Varric continued. "Many are too deeply programmed. There will be fighting among our kind." "What happens now?" Tahoe asked. "Now we prepare," Varric said grimly. "The Dominion fleet comes. When they find their servants have rebelled, they will show no mercy." The Allian approached Sangmin and, in a gesture that shocked everyone, knelt again. "You gave us back ourselves," Varric said, its large eyes wet with what looked like tears. "We have killed your people, destroyed your cities, and yet you chose to free us rather than destroy us." Varric bowed its head. "The Allian people beg for your mercy, Sangmin Park, and we offer our knowledge, our technology, and our lives to defend your world against what comes next." 3 months passed quickly. The world changed in ways no one could have imagined. Tahoe stood on a hillside overlooking what was once Seoul. Below, humans and Allians worked side by side, rebuilding the city. Where there had been only ruins, new buildings rose, a mix of human and Allian design. "Still hard to believe," Han Bin said, standing next to him. His old distrust of the Allians had faded, though not completely disappeared. "We have a lot to do before the Dominion arrives," Tahoe replied. Not all Allians had accepted freedom. About a third had fought against it, their minds too deeply controlled to break free. The resulting conflict had been brief but devastating. Now, the freed Allians worked to undo the damage they had caused to Earth. "Captain Kim," called a voice. Tahoe turned to see an Allian approach. "Sentinel Korax," Tahoe greeted him. The Allian had once been a guard, but now led a mixed human-Allian defense team. "The new shield generators are online," Korax reported. "Commander Varric requests your presence at the command center." Tahoe nodded and followed Korax down the hill to a large building that combined the old city hall with Allian technology. Inside, humans and Allians worked at stations, preparing Earth's defenses. In the main room, Commander Varric stood with Sangmin Park, studying star maps. Since the liberation, Sangmin had changed. He spoke more, stood taller. The quiet diplomat had become a leader. The Dominion fleet has changed course, Varric said as Tai-Ho entered. They will arrive sooner than we thought. 6 months at most. Are we ready? Tai-Ho asked. Getting there, Sang-Min replied. The Allian ships are being modified. We're building more weapons using their technology. Suji, who now led the engineering team, looked up from her work. The Allians have taught us how to build shields that can actually stop Dominion weapons. 10 major cities are protected now. Jesu added, and we've set up an early warning system using the Allian network. We'll know when they enter our solar system. Do-1, working with both human and Allian doctors, had discovered ways to safely remove the remaining control devices from willing Allians. We've helped over 10,000 Allians remove their implants completely, he reported. Tai-Ho felt a sense of pride looking at his team. Once they had been just a small resistance cell. Now they help lead Earth's defense. There's more, Varric said. We've made contact with other enslaved species. Some have begun their own rebellions, inspired by what happened here. Sang-Min nodded. The Dominion isn't just facing Earth now. They're facing a galaxy that's beginning to fight back. Outside the command center, a large construction yard was visible. A massive ship was being built, the first in Earth's new fleet. Humans and Allians moved around it like ants, working together. Will it be enough? Tai-Ho asked quietly. I don't know, Sang-Min answered honestly. The Dominion is powerful. They've conquered worlds for thousands of years, but they've never faced humans and free Allians working together. That evening, Tai-Ho found Sang-Min standing alone on the rooftop, watching the sunset. Do you ever miss being the quiet one? Tai-Ho asked. The one nobody noticed. Sang-Min smiled slightly. Sometimes, but I spent too many years being quiet when I should have spoken. You spoke when it mattered most, Tai-Ho said. They stood in silence, watching workers below. Children played nearby, human and Allian young together, learning each other's games. Whatever happens when the Dominion comes, Sang-Min said, this moment, this alliance is worth fighting for. In the distance, the new ship gleamed in the fading light. Its name was painted on the side in both human and Allian languages. Freedom's Voice. Tai-Ho smiled at the name. It was perfect for the first ship of their joint fleet, a reminder that even in the darkest times, even when all seemed lost, the voice of one quiet man could change everything. As stars appeared in the sky, stars that now held both promise and threat, Tai-Ho knew that whatever came next, humanity would no longer face it alone. The quiet man had spoken, and the universe had listened.